Hey everyone, we are going to talk about some of the starting items in Lies of P that you can get. These items are generally received within the first half hour of the game up to the first boss. We're just going to cover them here briefly so that way you can kind of expect what's going to be happening over the next little bit of time. So the first thing we are going to look at today is it's going to actually be in your bag, and this is going to be your pulse cell. The pulse cell is really important because that's your Estus flask. That is whatever you want to call it, your healing potion. What's really interesting about these flasks though is that they charge differently than what you would normally expect in a regular Souls game, I think, except for Bloodborne. They charge by actually doing damage to the enemies. So if we come in here and if we were to get hit, let's see here if it matters. It doesn't deal damages to us just because it's a bot, but you crack that for the heal, and then whenever you swing, it'll actually charge it up. If you do these hard attacks at this point, you'll actually charge up quite a bit, which is nice. It allows for the big charge here. So that's the first thing we're going to look at today, which is nice. The second item in our bag that we're going to look at is called the grinder. Now what this does is it repairs a weapon durability, but because in the game you do have the weapon durability, it decreases each time you attack an enemy, but whenever it falls to 0, it cannot be repaired anymore. So you want to make sure you're keeping everything up and healthy there, so that way you don't lose the weapon. Second item, or the third item, sorry, is the Monad's Lamp. It increases brightness upon use. It has a little cricket guide inside. It works more like a lantern. I haven't had to use it yet, so I'm not too worried about it. The next item is the Last Resort. Immediately causes character death upon use. And essentially this just allows you to reset. Chances are you might be losing your ergo, which it would be like your souls, but it definitely does still have its uses. I don't think I've ever used anything like this in a Souls game. I've never found it necessary, but something to keep in mind. And then finally we have the Moon Phase Pocket Watch. You do get that a little bit later on, but it does give you the use to teleport to the hotel, which is like your hub, or the last Stargazer used. Those would be your basic items. Now there are some consumable items that you will get relatively early. The main things I want to focus on are the Fable Catalyst here, which is made to supplement your puppet abilities. So if you were to look here, the puppet abilities that I have actually on this guy is called Puppet String. You start off with something different, but that is what you would use to recharge that in case you run out. And the other thing is the Legion Magazine. This is they're polymer bullets that are used in Legion arms. It can be implanted to charge it rapidly as well, so it's like a recharge over time. What I found actually really interesting and really strong was actually these sawtooth wheels. These sawtooth wheels act as like a range weapon to get enemies' attention, but in the early game it actually deals a significant amount of damage, so I definitely recommend giving those a look whenever you do go to play. Finally, I do want to look at the weapons really quick. If you can see here, we're going to go to our Moon Gazer, our Stargazer. We're going to go to our Stargazer and we're going to assemble weapons. Now we're going to get into this a little bit further, but as mentioned, you can choose between the Rapier, the Greatsword, or the Saber. How it works is your blade is actually the damage dealer, while your handle is going to be how you wield the weapon. So for instance, on my weapon, I do have the Rapier. I went full Rapier just because I do like the game style. So it allows for this thrusting motion, while the Saber is more of a slash, and the Greatsword is also a pretty big slash as well. But it is something that you do get to play around with. I am going to do an exclusive video on different how to do the weapon upgrading system in the future, but I really just wanted to give you guys a chance to see some of the consumables that you will be seeing at the beginning. Of course, there are ergos, which would act as, if you crack them, you can actually get an amount of ergo to help you level up or purchase items. And then there's finally these rare ergos. These come from bosses themselves. What I was told is I would recommend not to use them, although 5,000 is a lot. They do allow you to get specific and unique items later on in the game based off of the ergo, so I would recommend holding on to them, but it's completely up to you. Anyways, that is all for this video, showing a little bit of what you can expect to pick up to the Parade Master. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more videos like this, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.